I'll call this meeting of the Camarillo City Council to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Kildee,
Here.
Councilmember Santangelo,
Here.
Councilmember Tremblay,
Here.
Vice Mayor Molche,
Present.
Mayor Craven.
Here. Do you have a flag to put up? Okay, please rise. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any amendments to this agenda?
No amendments.
Okay, are there any public comments? Do you have any comments, Jeffrey?
No comments.
Okay. Discussion items, legal advice on Camarillo Airport, retain Daniel Reimer. Could we have the staff report, please?
I'll be presenting this one. You do have in your agenda packet an agenda report, which includes some information, and I'll briefly go through that here with you. As the council is aware, in 1976, the city and the county entered into an agreement with regards to the Camarillo Airport, and that agreement is attachment 1 to the packet. In the agenda report, I have called out certain provisions of that agreement, including recital E, and I'd like to just read from that because I think it's pertinent here. What that recital says is that county and city desire to achieve maximum mutual cooperation in the development of the airport and to maintain a balanced perspective in fulfilling county aviation requirements within a framework of continuing community sensitivity. So that is recital E. And there's certain sections of the agreement that are identified in the agenda report. Those include section 5, which makes reference to exhibit B to the agreement, and that, which I'll go through in just a moment, includes 6 restrictions with respect to the operations at the airport. There's also a section 15, which indicates that the agreement shall be for perpetuity, provided that if the county is precluded from operating the airport, then the agreement would have no further force and effect. Section 16 is the last section I'll identify here. What that says is that the agreement may be modified at any time by mutual agreement of the parties. So on to exhibit B. That includes 6 restrictions. I'm not going to read each one, but I'll just briefly mention. Number 1 has to do with the airport being operated for general aviation purposes. 2 is the operating hours being 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 3 is that the runway shall not exceed 6,000 feet. 4, there's a weight limitation on aircraft of 115,000 pounds. Number 5 is that the airport VFR traffic pattern shall be to the south of the airport as designated in attachment 2. And finally, that airport development shall be guided to ensure that residential areas are not exposed to noise levels greater than 60 CNEL average noise and 90 dBA single event noise. So those are the restrictions that are in Exhibit B to that agreement. And what's before you today is your consideration of retaining Dan Reimer as special counsel with respect to the airport, including the 1976 agreement. The council is aware that in March of last year that the city had retained the Rosales law firm to assist with airport issues. And what is contemplated here is that Mr. Reimer, and as well as the Rosales firm, would be available to assist the city in connection with the Camarillo Airport, which obviously is a very significant project within the city in terms of the operations of the airport and the sensitivity to the community. So together they will be available to the city, assuming that you approve this item that's before you here. A little bit about Mr. Reimer. From 1998 through 2014, he was in private practice representing clients on a number of airport issues, from large airports down to private general aviation airports. And then from 2014 to 2019, he managed the law department at the Denver International Airport, which I understand is the 5th busiest airport in the country. And then in 2019, Mr. Reamer formed his own firm, and he specializes in airport law. The agenda indicates a number of areas where he has expertise with regards to airports, one of which is grant funding, which is important because there are grants that have been given to the county with respect to the operation of the airport. So his familiarity with grant funding will be helpful. So the recommended action is to authorize the city manager to retain Daniel S. Reamer, LLC, and I'm available to answer questions.
Any questions?
Your Honor, I'll move staff recommendation, Kildee.
Mayor Craven, before you take a motion, I would ask if there's any members of the public that wish to speak.
Okay. Can you hold your motion, Mr. Kildee, until after we've had a chance to hear from the public? Is there any member of the public who would like to speak to us on this item?
If so, you would need to raise your hand via Zoom.
Has any member of the public raised his or her hand?
No.
Okay. So
With that, I'll move staff recommendation.
Tremblay, second.
there's a motion and a second. I'll ask the clerk to take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Kildee,
Yes.
Councilmember Santangelo,
Yes.
Councilmember Tremblay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Molche,
Yes.
Mayor Craven.
Yes.
That motion carries unanimously.
Next item on the agenda is special counsel for a lawsuit filed by the Oxnard Pleasant Valley Coalition for groundwater adjudication agreement to the Barkowitz firm. Could we have the staff report, please?
Yes, I will provide a little background with respect to this item. On June 15th of 2021, there was a lawsuit filed by OPV Coalition and other agricultural interests. A copy of that complaint is attachment 1 to your agenda packet. And in that lawsuit, they are seeking a comprehensive groundwater adjudication against the Fox Canyon Groundwater Management Agency. It's been filed in the Ventura County Superior Court, and the adjudication they are seeking is with respect to the Oxnard groundwater basin and the Pleasant Valley groundwater basin. The city of Camarillo is not a party to this lawsuit at this time. However, I should mention paragraph 16 of that complaint, and I'm going to read what it says. It's not too long. I'm quoting, "Water in these basins supports diverse water users. These include municipal suppliers, among them the cities of Oxnard, the largest city fully contained in the Oxnard Basin, Camarillo, and San Buenaventura, and the Channel Islands Beach Community Service District." So while the city is not a party to the lawsuit, the city certainly potentially has an interest in the lawsuit. And the recommendation here before you today is that you would seek legal advice from a law firm that has substantial experience with respect to such water rights litigation. With that in mind, the Barkowitz, Cronick, and Shanahan firm is the one that has been presented to you in your agenda packet. This firm was founded in 1989, and they represent local agencies and private clients in matters concerning water resources, land use, government, and related issues. The attorneys in that firm who are available to assist the city are Ryan Becerra and Jennifer Buckman. The resumes of these two attorneys are included in your agenda packet. Mr. Becerra's resume is attachment 2. The resume of Jennifer Buckman is attachment 3. Just briefly about these two attorneys, Mr. Becerra has been with the Barkowitz law firm since 1999, and he practices surface water, groundwater rights, endangered species, water quality, and environmental laws that affect water usage. He represents clients in Santa Maria, Antelope Valley, and Paso Robles in regards to groundwater adjudications. With regard to Jennifer Buckman, for more than 20 years, she has represented water districts and other public agencies. She has particular expertise in water law and related issues, which is detailed in her resume. She joined the Barkowitz law firm in 2016, and prior to that, her experience includes serving as general counsel for the Fremont Water Authority, where she served from 2011 to 2016. So, since the city does have an interest in this OPV lawsuit, it is recommended that the city council retain the Barkowitz law firm for legal advice in regard to that lawsuit, given their experience in these water-related issues. And the recommended action would be to authorize the city manager to sign an agreement for legal services with the Barkowitz law firm as special counsel to advise the city in the lawsuit filed by OPV Coalition. And I'm available to answer questions.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for public comments. Is there any member, if there's any member of the public who would like to speak to us on this issue, please raise your hand. I'll ask the city clerk if she has seen any hands. I don't have that screen up.
There are no hands raised.
Thank you very much. What are the wishes of the council?
I'll move staff recommendation. I'll withdraw.
Okay, motion by Ms. Santangelo. Is there a second by Mr. Kildee?
I'll second the motion. Thank you.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Could the clerk please give us a roll call vote?
Councilmember Kildee,
Yes.
Councilmember Santangelo,
Yes.
Councilmember Tremblay,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Molche,
Yes.
Mayor Craven.
Yes,
That motion carries unanimously.
thank you. Okay, with all the business having been completed, we will now adjourn the meeting.